Live from New York, this is WIUR Radio.
What is going on? You are listening to WIUR Sports Radio. I'm your host, Ernest Patty, and this is your New York Sports Update. So leaving off, so where we left off, the New York Yankees lost in the ALDS to the Toronto Blue Jays. And unfortunately, we are still grieving that loss, but we move on. The Yankees have had a little bit of some news recently, so we're going to cover that. Then we're going to talk about what's coming up in the AL and the NL championship series. And then we're going to talk about the New York Giants because that is the next team we are hoping to win a championship here. And then we got the Knicks and the Rangers at some point later on. But yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today. Anyway, so let's get started. So in current Yankee news, Anthony Volpe is going to have surgery on his shoulder. That's a long time coming because as fans, we saw him play through a bum shoulder. I don't want to say bum, actually. It's like kind of bad. But his torn labrum, no, not torn labrum, just messed up shoulder. And so he's getting surgery on that. Now we saw him play through it. He got a couple cortisone shots. But today, or I guess today was when really like the videos from yesterday, I guess, popped up. But when Aaron Boone was asked if he sees Volpe as the starting shortstop in 26, he said he's right in the mix to do that. So I don't know, as a fan, that kind of got me thinking, like, okay, Anthony Volpe may not be on the team next year. Or maybe he doesn't start at the beginning of the season and then ultimately, comes off his, IL stint, midway through the season. But we'll see what the Yankees do there. They do have Caballero. They do have Oswaldo Cabrera coming back. So, some plug and play guys that can fill in the role for him, but it'll be easy. It'll be interesting to see what the Yankees do there if they maybe go out and target Bo Bichette in free agency. Who knows? But I don't know. Anthony Volpe is going to have to compete for the job again. So we'll see what goes on there. There was an interesting tweet today from a lot of the news that's been going on, but Aaron Boone, when asked if he thought the injury affected Volpe's performance, and he actually said it did not affect Volpe's performance, which is interesting because we saw it affect his performance and his just bad play. But he did hit a home run off of Garrett Crochet with a shoulder that was being held together by like a few muscle fibers. But then Brian Cashman today, as at the same time as Aaron Boone, said, I believe the injury affected his performance. So I don't know why we didn't see a change in the position sooner than we did. Anyway, Rodon, another injury update. Rodon is getting surgery on a bone spur in his throwing elbow. In his left elbow, it's his throwing arm. So it'll be interesting to see how long he'll be out for. Maybe we'll see him, into spring training and whatnot. But hopefully he's, back sooner than later. We have Aaron Judge, who is actually cleared of needing surgery for his bum forearm, which is great. In free agent news, Bellinger is expected to opt out of his contract, and I have a clip from Brian Cashman on his thoughts about Cody Bellinger maybe returning to the Yankees.
Conversations yet. We're in. He was an impact player for us. I'm glad we got him. Certainly expect him to opt out. And I don't know. We haven't gotten to those conversations yet. We're in the HR version of our winner so far. But I can just tell you, he was really impactful for us, no question about it. One of the many reasons why we were capable of great things this year when the dust settled. And so I thank him for everything he's done, and certainly would love to have him with our team moving forward. But we haven't had any of those discussions. Haven't had any conversations with Scott Boras, but Bouquet is his way without a doubt. He helped us on both sides of the ball, offense, defense. He's a versatile player. He was great in our clubhouse. He was an impact player for.
So that was Yankees general manager Brian Cashman on the prospect of bringing Cody Bellinger back to the Bronx. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. Cody is looking for a long-term deal. So we'll see what goes on there. They'll have to kind of strong arm Scott Boras there to get a contract going that is mutually beneficial to both teams. Next up, the Yankees fired 2 and possibly a third coaches. Everyone was when that news broke, everyone thought it was Aaron Boone, but it was not, unfortunately. But they let go of bullpen coach Mike Harkey, first base coach Travis Chapman, and Aaron Boone said that they're exploring other employment opportunities with their assistant hitting coach Pat Rustler, but they at that same time they hired Jake Hurst as their assistant hitting coach. So a little bit of a switch up there for the hitting coach, but Rustler was already in the Yankees organization, so they'll do a little shuffling around there, but ultimately getting rid of 2 coaches and possibly a third. Next, Aaron Boone was asked during these press conferences where or why there should be confidence in the Yankees organization about them getting over the hump and winning a World Series. So I'm not going to play the clip. He kind of rambled on a lot, but these are most of the takeaways from it. He said, I don't know. The reality is we've had a really good club, and in certain years, probably one of the best clubs in the league. All I know is it's time to dust ourselves off and try to build another club that puts us in position to take a run again. I don't know what to tell you. We've had lots of really good people here that are working our tails off to put us in a better position to take our shot every year. I can't really answer that because I've got this team, because I haven't gotten this team to the top of the mountain. Until I do, all I can tell you is I'm confident in my ability to lead this team, and I'm confident in our organization to build a team that gives us a chance to win. But ultimately, I can't tell you anything to make you feel good. It's about us winning number 28, and I'm working my butt off to try to get us. I'm working my butt off to be a part of helping us bring that back. So my immediate reaction to that is not great. I don't get a sense of we're in a better spot than we are. We're going to be in a better spot than we were at the end of the season. With Cole, Rodon, and Clark Schmidt all on the IR technically and dealing with rehabbing from injuries, I ultimately think that come opening day, we're not going to have our best players out on the field. I kind of get the sense that they're going to be back a few months into the season. And then, I mean, who knows what happens in the free agent market? The Yankees are going to be losing a lot of guys potentially. Guys signing in other places. So, to be honest, I'm not very confident at this moment. Probably after free agency, I'll get a better idea. But yeah, I don't see, after those comments, I don't see the Yankees really moving a lot of mountains to get in a relative same spot than we did last year. Although we have been 500 for a while. I don't want to go so far as say the Yankees won't be around 500 this year or next year, but yeah, doesn't look great at the beginning, but we'll see. So pivoting to the AL and the NLCS, right now we've got the Los Angeles Dodgers versus the Milwaukee Brewers. Currently, the Dodgers are leading 2-0. I'll go really quickly through game 1 and 2. Blake Snell started the mound for the Dodgers. He went 8 shutout innings. struck out 10. Dominant performance from him. Freddie Freeman supplied the offense with a solo homer, and in the ninth, the Brewers threatened loading the bases, but Snell and the bullpen held on. With Blake Trinan getting the save. There was a crazy double play for those who didn't see it. It was a bases loaded double play that actually didn't allow a run to score. And if you saw the clip or saw the game, multiple angles show the kind of mishaps that the runners made on the bases. When the ball was hit, center fielder hit it with his glove. It bounced off the wall. Then it was a live ball because now the runners are free to run because there was no out in center field. And then Teoscar Hernandez, who was the runner on third, thought he caught the ball. So he had to tag up. Or he started running home, had to tag up, and then decided to run back to home. And the center fielder threw the ball right back into the infield, got the play at home. But then the runners on second and first thought that the ball was caught. So they went to tag up and didn't move because the ball was then in the infield. And they were actually able to get the out at third, getting the force out. So crazy kind of headache of a play. But it was described as the first postseason 8-6-2 double play. For those that don't know, 8-6-2 center fielder, shortstop, and catcher. And then in game two, the Brewers ended up losing that game. And then moving on to game two, Yoshinobu Yamamoto threw a 3-hitter in a complete game as the Dodgers beat Milwaukee 5-1 to take a 2-0 lead in the series. So far, LA's pitching has been really sharp. Contrary to popular belief, the bullpen actually has a higher ERA than the starting pitchers on the Dodgers. So it was actually good to see that they only held Milwaukee to about 2 runs so far in the series. But moving on to game 3, they've got starting pitcher Ashby and Ashby for the Brewers and Tyler Glasnow for the Dodgers. Ashby's been pretty good in the postseason so far. He's got a win-loss of 0-0, but he's got an ERA of 4.26 with 6 innings pitched and 6 strikeouts. His career postseason, he's got 9 games, but he has a 7 ERA. So I don't feel too confident with him going up against the Dodgers lineup with Ohtani and Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman and the rest of the hitters they got. But in the 2025 regular season, he's been pretty much lights out. He has a 2.16 ERA in 66 innings pitched with 76 strikeouts. So interesting to see how he does tonight against a dominant Dodgers group. Tyler Glasnow, really good pitcher, was traded to the Dodgers not too long ago. He's got a career postseason ERA of 4.89 with 53 innings pitched and 71 strikeouts. His regular season ERA is 3.19, 90 innings pitched, and 106 strikeouts. So pretty dominant so far. It'll be interesting to see what happens tonight. But yeah, if you're interested in watching that game, you can. I'm not, because the Dodgers won last year's World Series against my New York Yankees. So we are not watching them. Moving on to the ALCS, we have the Seattle Mariners and the Toronto Blue Jays. Mariners lead the series 2-1. In game one, Seattle In game one, Seattle took it 3 of a score to 3-1. Cal Raleigh homered, and Jorge Polanco drove in the go-ahead run in the 6th inning. Bryce Miller got the start and cooled off after a tough first inning, and Seattle's bullpen threw pretty well to hold off the Blue Jays. George Springer made Blue Jays history by homering on the very first pitch of the series. Guess that's cool if you're into the Blue Jays. We also won't be watching because we do not like the Blue Jays. Game 2, Mariners dominated 10-3, which is honestly surprising because the Yankees, I think, have a better lineup than the Mariners, and they couldn't get anything going against the Blue Jays. So kind of sad. But anyway, Jorge Jorge Polanco crushed a three-run home run. Julio Rodriguez and Josh Naylor also had big impacts with home runs. They attempted to rally, but their bullpen couldn't, maintain Seattle's momentum. And in those first two games, actually, Vlad Jr. went 0-7. So I don't know how he went, how he did so well against the Yankees and then immediately cools off. But Blue Jays exploded on offense in Game 3, hammering 5 home runs and winning 13-4. Not really much to talk about there. Just dominant win by the Blue Jays. But it's interesting. No home games have been won so far. So pretty interesting. Anyway, in Game 4 tonight, Scherzer takes the bump for the Blue Jays. He's got a career postseason ERA of 3.78 with 171 strikeouts and a career regular season of 3.22 ERA and 3,489 strikeouts. So pretty good pitcher. But he did get tagged up right before the playoffs started. So it'll be interesting what he does tonight. So yeah, stay tuned if you're into that. Not going to be watching that either. And then we've got Luis Castillo on the mound for the Mariners. He's got a career postseason ERA of 1.4 and 23 strikeouts in 5 games, though. So it'll be nice. Hopefully we see a little bit more of that dominant pitching coming up. And yeah, we're going to take a quick ad break, and we'll be right back.
This is WIUR Radio.
Hi, this is Anthony Carlo, TV news reporter in New York City and proud alum. If you're looking for a career in media, Iona is the place to be. From internships to real-world experience, Iona's media program is unprecedented. Take it from an industry professional who made it in the biz.
Now back to WIUR, Iona University Radio.
And we are back to your WIUR weekly radio show of New York Sports Update. I'm your host, Ernest Patty. So we were just talking about the AL and the NLCS and what to expect from the Dodgers and the Brewers, Seattle Mariners and the Toronto Blue Jays. So yeah, now coming up, interestingly, are the New York Giants, and they're a bit of a hot topic right now because of their 2 rookies, Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo. Cam Scatterbo, personally, my favorite player in the Giants right now. He's a dog. Simple as that. He runs through everybody, and honestly, just he's a machine right now. Honestly, it looks like he can't be stopped. But last week they took on the defending champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, and actually, beat them, which was a surprise to all. I did not start Jackson Dart on my fantasy over Bo Nix. And I paid the price. Jackson Dart put up one heck of a performance, and sadly, he was on my bench the whole game. But some key moments. Philly struck first with a field goal. Giants hit back immediately with a 20-yard scramble touchdown run by Jackson Dart. Then Wan'Dale Robinson caught a pretty big shot for 35 yards to extend the lead. And then the Eagles responded with naturally a tush push, and actually it took them 3 attempts, or technically 4 attempts to score against the Giants defense there. Cam Scatterbo punched it in for a 40-yard touchdown. He had another 1-yard rush, and there was a little bit of a scary moment in the middle of the game. At the end of the game, where they were going to go for it on 4th down, but Jackson Dart took a shot after the 3rd down play, and he was in the blue tent, and Brian Daboll was really nervous about his quarterback and really wanted to get in the tent. And there's a couple of videos out there of him getting pushed out of the tent. Same with Cam Scatterbo trying to get check on his guy, but ultimately he returned to the game, and he's been cleared to play for this weekend. But yeah, and so took down the Eagles, which was really impressive. Right now, Scatterbo, he's my dog of the week. Well, we're going to start that. He had 19 carries for 98 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns in that game. Right now, he's got 4.1 yards per carry, which is kind of nuts from a rookie running back. And it's nice to see this Giants offense kind of have some life. With Russell Wilson, it was kind of like hit or miss, right? Russ would, throw the occasional deep bomb, and one of the Giants' 8 receivers on the season would, haul it in for a big gain. But right now, with Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterwood leading the charge, I think it's a really exciting time to be a Giants fan for the future. Not saying that the Giants can't make the playoffs now, but I think in the next 2-3 years, they're going to be a consistent playoff team. They build the right way around the two of them. You just got to get a couple upgrades in the offense. Malik Neighbors out with a ACL tear and a couple other injuries. He's got like turf toe and a bum shoulder. So when he's actually healthy and back in the offense next year, they'll be an exciting trio, if you will. But right now, on the season, Cam Scatterwood's got almost 350 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns, and receiving. He's also really good out of the backfield. He's got 155 yards on 20 receptions. So really dominant back. In the Eagles game, Jackson Dart went for 195 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and he had 58 rushing yards total and 1 TD. Jackson Dart looks pretty good. He's got that swagger that a lot of the Giants quarterbacks of late didn't have. Daniel Jones didn't really show that. He kind of just looked awkward on the field. I didn't watch a whole lot of Daniel Jones because it was kind of hard to watch, but I think with Jackson Dart, they look way better. And I think, people are really wanting to watch them now. Among, the very few really well-known wide receivers, Wan'Dale Robinson on the Giants, who's probably that last guy before, it tapers off to like who But Wan'Dale Robinson has been a big target of Jackson Dart's. And I think they're starting to click. But for this weekend, the Giants are missing Malik Neighbors. Jalen Hyatt is hurt, and a few other guys. So it'll be interesting to see what happens facing a really tough Broncos secondary. When you've got guys like Pat Surtain, Riley Moss, and an exciting rookie of Jahdae Barron, you don't expect a rookie quarterback to really perform when he doesn't have his top wide receivers. So that being said, it'll be interesting to see what the Giants stick to. Is it the passing game or is it the run game? I don't have any doubts that Cam Scatterwood will have a good game. It's just, what do the Broncos do to adapt to Jackson Dart being a dual threat quarterback? He can run and he can throw. So, depending on how the Broncos, sort of scheme their defense this weekend, it'll be interesting. I think it'll be a good game. But Giants wide receivers really have to step up. Wan'Dale will be in the slot, so he'll, be kind of shadowed by Pat Surtain, depending on, the different schemes and whatnot. But also there's a linebacker, Dre Greenlaw, who could return in time for this Sunday's game. That'll really impact the Broncos, blitzing capabilities. And I think that's just another guy in the Broncos defense that's, a big threat to them. Depending on what happens, who knows really what will happen this weekend. The Giants are really, trying to scrape together a couple wide receivers. So I think it'll be a big run game from the Giants that really lean on Cam Scatterwood and Tyrone Tracy, who's also coming back from injury. But I don't see him getting a big role over Cam Scatterwood because he's been pretty dominant so far. But I'm really excited. The Giants their play of late has really, brought me back in. I was a fringe I was a fringe fan, if you will. Wouldn't really watch too many Giants games. The Daniel Jones would just throw too many interceptions and not not show us anything. So I'm excited, and we'll kind of see what happens. But yeah, I'm really excited. Bo Nix, could carve up the Giants defense a little bit. I don't have too much faith in them, so I'm also kind of debating who I should start. I don't want to start Bo Nix over Jackson Dart, so we'll see. But yeah, I do have faith in the Giants so far, and next week we'll debrief again, and we'll see. Maybe somebody makes it to the World Series. Maybe it'll go to Game 7, and yeah, maybe the Giants will we'll take down a giant of the Denver Broncos, and it's a really big test for Jackson Dart. So yeah, hopefully we'll have some good football this weekend, and yeah. Well, for WIUR, I'm Ernest Patty. This has been your New York Sports Update. Please check us out on YouTube, and yeah, please feel free to subscribe. Thanks. Have a good weekend.